171. Page 171 in Tzurba Rabbanan, volume number 20, the Lax Family Edition, the Niaza Family Volume, and we are continuing in the Hilchot of Animals. And today we're going to speak about a little bit of a more serious type of melacha, and this is killing animals on Shabbat. Obviously, you're not going to be killing your pet.
Animals, it's including flies also?
Yes, insects and everything. All types of living creatures.
Right.
Okay? So the malacha we're going to be dealing with is the malacha of shoichet. Right? Shoichet is slaughtering.
Right.
Now, we have to talk about when was slaughtering used in the Mikdash. Remember, every malacha is related to the construction of the Mikdash. So where do you do shoichet?
Korban tamid.
Okay, so that's in the performance of the avodah. What about according to the opinion that in the construction of the Mishkan? So you remember
construction of the Mishkan.
Yeah, malachas are related to the construction of the Mishkan. So where do you have shoichet? So where do we have tzad? Tzad was to capture the animals, and some of the animals we had to use.
Whatever you don't need to do.
We had to use their hide.
Yeah, but you don't need to do it in Shabbat. You can do it the day before.
No, but in the construction of the Mishkan, we were said you can't do it on Shabbat. So therefore, we don't do these malachas on Shabbos. So where was the malacha of shoichet in the construction of the Mishkan? Was for the hides, for the hides, for the tents, for the curtains, darot odamim, all these things that were used. Right?
Why you have to do it in Shabbat?
No, you can't do it on Shabbat.
Exactly.
Based on these malachas, right?
Okay.
So, but in the construction of the Mishkan, the shoichet was used to, for example, to get the hides, kill those animals. Right. Okay, so now. There is a famous Gemara, Masechah Shabbos, Daf Ayin Hey Amud Aleph, Ayin Hey Amud Beis, and it says the person who slaughters, Shoichet Mishum Mai Chayev. Why are you chayev? Which malacha is it? So Shoichet Mishum Mai Chayev, Rav Omer Mishum Tzaveya. Rav says because you're dyeing, you're coloring, the blood is going on the hide, the blood is going on the skin of the animal, so you're coloring. Shmuel Omer, what do you mean? Mishum netilat neshama. You're killing, and shoichet is one of the avos malachos. So, and the Gemara says, 1 second. According to Rab, who says because of dyeing, of coloring the animal, the hide, mishum tzaveya ein. Because of dyeing, yes, coloring, yes. Mishum netilat neshama loy. And if you take the neshama, there is no malacha. What do you mean? That's the malacha of shoichet. Ema, rather what he meant to say, mishum tzaveya.
This is what? This is about
killing an animal.
We're asking Rav.
Yeah.
We're asking Rav.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So so Rav must mean not mishum tzaveya, but mishum tzaveya. Also coloring the hide. Right. Now, and then Rav says, let me explain it to you, because I don't want later generations to come and laugh and say, what do you mean? You kill an animal, you be chay mishum tzaveya? So I'll tell you why. Tzaveya, it's when it's nichale. It's when he likes it. When is this when he likes it? Because you want to show someone the meat is fresh, the hide is fresh. You'll show them the blood that is on the meat, the blood that is on the hide. You see fresh blood, you know it is fresh. And if it's fresh, you're able to sell it for more. So it's nichale. Therefore, says Rav, you would be mechuyev on two malachas, malacha of tzaveya and the malacha of shoichet. But everyone agrees that killing an animal on Shabbat, you're over the malacha, the oraita of shoichet. Okay.
So now we're going to
which animals?
Shmuel.
Which animals?
Huh?
So both Rav and Shmuel hold until Neshama. Rav just adds on tzaveya.
I'm saying why Shmuel says no tzaveya?
Maybe it's not. He doesn't look at it as significant enough to be its own. Let's see the Rambam now. So the Rambam says in source number 2 on page 172, the Rambam says, "Hashoichet chayev." If you slaughter, you're chayev lo shoichet bilvad, and not only shchita, not only ritual slaughter. Ela kol anoitel neshama leechad mikol minei chaya uvehema ve'oif ve'dog v'sharetz. Right? Doesn't matter if it's an animal, a wild animal, a domesticated animal, if it's a bird, if it's a fish, whether it's an insect, a creature, doesn't make a difference. Bain b'shchita, whether you slaughter it, or bain. How does this next word? Banechira. Okay, banechira is what? Stabbing. Okay. Oh, through beating it. The hakah, right? As all of them is chay. So anytime you're doing an action that is visible, that's marked by beating it, stabbing it, killing it, right? Slaughtering it, all these you're chayev, the melacha of shoichet. Now, what about strangling? One strangles an animal, ad shimot, until it dies. Harei toldat shoichet. This is now a tolda of shoichet. Why is it a tolda of shoichet?
What?
I'm strangling it. So it's neshama. So it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So why is stabbing, slaughtering, and beating an av, and strangling is a tolda?
How do you mean strangling?
Strangling, you choke him to death. Choke the
I'm allowed
animal
to
to
do
death. No, can't do that.
Because there is no blood.
So the way it was explained to me was that when it comes to strangulation, or even his next example, let's look at his next example. We'll explain it from there. Lefikach, im ha'ala dog, he takes out the fish, misafal shalmayim,
From the water.
right? Venicho, and he leaves it there. Ad shemeis chayiv mishum. He's still going to be chayiv for strangling it. What do you do with the fish? When the fish dies, there is no visible death marks on it.
Right.
Okay. What did we say about strangulation? Strangulation, you kill and the body remains intact, right? You don't usually see visible strangulation marks.
Right.
So the way it was, way I heard it explained that the Rambam seems to be saying that if the misa, if the death is not visible, whereas stabbing, you see the holes, right? You see the beating,
Right.
you see the head that chopped off, right? Where it's not visible, that's a toldo. Lamaisa, what's the difference? Av and Toldo and Shabbos? It doesn't, right? It's the same chiv. How many karbanis you bring maybe makes a difference if what's a toldo and Av. But it's still also the Araisa, just as if it was.
For killing, it makes a big difference.
In what?
If it's tolada or it's direct killing.
In regular world.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're saying on Shabbos that it will still be, if a person did any of these, he'll still be chayav deraita. You have to bring a carbon. Okay, fine. That now explains what type of animals, all types of living creatures. Doesn't make a difference what type of living creature it is. Doesn't make a difference via what mode you kill the animal, just if it's an ab or a tolda. All right. Says the Shmirat Shabbat Kil Chata. What about using a spray, a bug spray? Can I use a bug spray
Chemicals.
on Shabbat, a chemical?
Yeah.
I spray it.
No.
No.
Well, we say already, if you are, this is also tolada, and it's going to die anyway.
So let's see how we could use it. He says it's mutter to use this the insect spray that's going to kill insects, but not to kill them. Kedei laharchik, rather to what's it called? To make them go far away, to distance them from the cheder. And you're allowed to use it, even though you're spraying it, where you know that spray cans are allowed to be used, right? But once you be careful to leave the door or window open.
Yeah, but he's saying you are allowed to spread in Shabbat, looks like.
Spray the spray, but where?
No,
Very good.
I understand. And the
Yeah, you're always allowed to spray a spray bottle.
So it is tolada.
If you spray it on the insects. That's right. So let's read it again. So the insects are able to say, simply one must be careful not to spray. Should assist on them themselves, on the animals, on the insects themselves.
Because then spray in the air, but not spray on them.
Exactly. That's it. Rafi got it right there. So you can spray the spray to you kind of make a border there, right? That they don't pass it.
You can do this,
right?
But
you can't spray it on them. All right. So we're going to take a look outside of this for a second, outside the Tzurba and the Yalkut Yosef, where he spells it out very clearly.
What if you have a million bees around you?
Yeah.
You
So
can't directly spray it around you.
Is it dangerous?
Like
Is it a dangerous situation? So we'll see. There might be a way you can kill.
I really don't. I take this example and a different example. And I don't understand why this is mutar and
Yeah.
why that's so. Over here, you're saying if you're gonna spray, you're gonna. They don't tell you how much you're gonna spray. Okay, you're gonna spray a lot, and you leave one window open, and some of them are gonna die for sure, right? And it says mutar, but if you open a hot water in Shabbat, and you open it, and then the boiler afterwards is gonna bring some cold water and cook it. So it's asur, נכון?
Yeah.
Asur. So I'm saying this over here, they're gonna die, and over there,
No.
over there,
No. Because here we're not saying they're gonna die. You're not killing them.
Who says not gonna die?
You're not.
They don't tell you how much to spray. You can spray a lot.
Yeah, but you're not spraying on them. You're not killing them.
You're not spray on them, but when they're gonna come to where you spray, they're stupid. They're gonna come over there and they're gonna die. So
Okay. So that's if the window open as well. Okay, so it's not definite they're gonna die. Listen to what he writes over here. One should
so why are you
spray.
spraying if they're not gonna die? Why are you spraying?
They don't come here.
Well, what do you mean
Your
they don't
kavanah
come
is not to kill them.
What if it's
Your kavanah is not to kill them. Your kavanah is to not, then they shouldn't bother you.
You spray because they are here already.
But not to kill them. I'm spraying so they don't bother me. Here, listen to this. Let's read the Yalkut Yosef. The what? Insect mechanicals. Okay, let's read the Yalkut Yosef. One should spray it into the ear without aiming at any insect, and one must also leave the window open to give them a chance to escape. So it's not inevitable that they're going to die. You're letting them go the other way.
But I'm asking you now.
In
when
this
you
way,
spray,
one demonstrates that one is not necessarily intent to kill them. It's not your kavanah to kill. And it's not inevitable that they will be killed. This makes this act a davar she'enu mitkaven. It's not what I want to do, right?
Yeah.
And it's also not a psikresha.
Okay.
It's not inevitable because the window is open. No, it's not because the window's open.
From all this spraying, one of them gonna be dead for sure.
It's not my kavanah. It's not my kavanah. Davar she'enu mitkaven, and it's not a psikresha. Oh no, but that's
I want hot water right now. What's gonna happen later over there in the boiler?
That's definitely going to happen. That's definitely going to happen. Therefore, even if the insects are killed by the spray, one has not desecrated the Shabbat at all. Okay? So it's not comparable to the boiler, but that's the halacha. So halacha Rabotai, is you allowed to use bug spray on Shabbat, not spraying it on the bugs, spraying in the air and leaving them an escape route that they can leave through a window or a door or something like that. Okay? Let's read a little further over here.
A lot of people went to Great Wolf Lodge. Great Wolf.
Okay. Orchot Shabbat writes, one who throws animals into the water and kills them. It is equivalent to one who kills them directly. So if you had the mosquito on you and you picked it up and you threw it into water,
How you gonna pick up a?
Some people can do it. Therefore, if there is an ant in the sink, you see an ant crawling around in the sink, one should be careful not to turn on the tap if it's almost certain that the ant will be washed away and will die in the water. So if it's going to be for sure that that ant is going to be killed by that water, you shouldn't be able to turn on the sink if there's ants in the sink.
Wait, why would it be ants in your sink?
Ants get in the sinks. There's food in there, food particles. So likewise, he writes over here the Orchot Shabbat, one who is walking on a path in which ants are found there. He knows there's a lot of ants over there. You step on the ant, it's gonna happen. You're gonna kill the ant. So you're gonna be chayav for sure. That davar she'enu mitkaven. It's not a psikresha.
So like on the walls, on the floor, everywhere.
Might be a problem.
I'm not allowed to move.
You might not be able to move. Okay, so you take a look at the note on the bottom over here.
What if
He says it might be. He says it might be some permissible. Look at page 173 on the bottom, note 3. He writes over there. It depends. Sometimes it could be considered davar she'enu mitkaven, which would be permitted. If one has no other way to wash the dishes in the sink, there are some poskim that say you can turn it on. It's psikresha to rabbanon. You're not killing in the regular way. It's a shinui, and it's not done for a constructive purpose. So there are heiterim when it comes to such situations. But I wanted to take your attention outside for a moment to the Yalkut Joseph. The Yalkut Joseph has here a scenario as follows. Listen to this. Guy he has to wash his hands under the sink, but the water is infested with insects. Okay.
Insects are falling out.
Yeah.
when
So
they're
now
already dead.
he's gonna no, that's not necessarily all dead. Okay,
But they're
some of them are
still in the water.
some of them are water insects.
Okay.
He's gonna.
What are you saying? A salamander is inside my.
And then part of washing your hands, so you have the liquid soap, right? And part of washing your hands,
So he's
to
gonna
go,
kill them.
go like this.
Like this.
Now what
like
happens?
this,
You have an
like-
insect on your hand in the water. You're gonna end up killing the insect. What? You see some insect in the water. You know there's wrigglers there.
I washing.
Yeah.
I see.
That's their problem.
Your water's clean. The guy has a water that's infested.
No, that's their problem.
Yeah.
That's the ants' problem.
You have infested water. The guy's somewhere they don't have clean water. It's not clean. He has wrigglers in the water. And now he's gonna come and he's gonna wrap his hands. He's gonna end up killing the wriggler.
It's better not to do it.
So what to do?
no
What to do?
washing
Let's
the
see.
hands.
What do you want to wash
It
bread?
says it this
For
way.
bread.
Let's what he says. It's permissible to wash hands on Shabbat using water that's infested with insects and then to rub one's hands together. Although this will certainly kill any wrigglers that remain in one's hands. Why? Number one, you assume that none are stuck on one's hands. So even if they are, the person has no intention to kill them. When I'm doing this, I'm not planning to kill the insects. I assume they're not on me anymore. Since the person wishing does not know whether there are wrigglers remaining on his hands, it is a case where there is a doubt whether it is a psik resha. So it's safek psik resha. That's what he says. Psik resha, safek. We don't know if it's going to be psik resha. You're going to have to kill him. We don't know if it's fully there. And killing these worms is at worst forbidden only by our sages. It's only the Rabbanan. Since he does not care whether the worm is live or not. Right? It's not what I want. It's not the way the malacha was done. It's malacha she'ein tzurcha legufa, right? This is that's how it's going to be the Rabbanan. After all, even if it was definitely psik resha, it would be permissible since it wasn't his kavanah. So therefore, he says technically, if you have water infested water and you're washing your hands with it, you would be able to go like this. Even most probably, you would kill something. The creation, the Rabbanon, it's malacha she'ein tzurcha legufa, davar she'ein miskaving. You have all these things, and it's only the Rabbanon, and it will be okay. But then he writes, it's better to shake off your hands if you know it's infested, to try to make sure they're off you before you rub off your hands. So that's what he brings down over here. So from here, we can see.
Baruch Hashem, we don't have this problem.
So what would be, according to Chamavad, what would be the case? I don't know. I'm just thinking at this moment. If there's a lot of ants, can I step on those ants?
If you nishta brera, it's nishta brera.
But is it psik resha?
What?
Is it a psik resha? There's a lot of ants there.
What are you gonna do? You have no other way to go.
You have no other way to go, right? So there are those who say that. Right.
If you have no other way to go, then there's no other way to go. Because anyway, there are ants always underneath. So you
Right,
go,
but
you don't know.
We don't know. We don't care. I'm saying you see the ants. You know there's a whole bunch of ants. So technically, if you see there's a spot with a lot of ants, don't walk on that spot. Go around. You have, like Chaim said, you have no other way to walk. Up to that, then it's davar she'ein mitkavin, psik resha, derabanan, michalai, all these other things that we can use in that spot. Okay, let's just review these halachot very quickly in the laws of Shabbat. He writes as follows: the malacha of shochet is not limited to just slaughtering the animal. It includes any method, even causing a mortal injury. Let's say you injure the animal, for sure it's going to die, but it's not going to die until after Shabbat. You chayav or not?
Again.
I hit the animal. Someone hit the animal. It's definitely going to die, but it's going to take time. It's not going to die till after Shabbat. Yeah.
So no, it's not hayab. It's not hayab.
So he's hayab. He's giving me hayab. Even if he does not die until after Shabbat, he caused it on Shabbat. Die. He's already considered dead.
But there is such a thing. There is such a thing like in when animal is.
Hey, I took the fish out of the fish bowl. Took it out right before Shabbat.
No, that's
Right before
different.
Shabbat comes
That's
out.
different.
Right?
That's different.
And he's going to die. I'm not putting him back in.
Because fish cannot live
Wait,
without
they
water.
don't die right away.
No, but they cannot live without
Same
water.
thing.
You know.
If you hurt the guy, that he's definitely going to die.
No, but
You'll be high for sure.
sometimes
Let's say the animal is
they
critically
can die.
ill. The animal's critically ill. He's going to die. And you go ahead and you kill him.
It's not really good. You're a dead person. You're dead man.
He says it's not permitted.
Not permitted, but
It's not permitted.
But it's not.
The Minhat Chinuch says definitely not permitted. So the animal is dying. You can't go ahead and kill it.
But it's not chayav.
He doesn't write Hayav, but he says it's not permitted. All right, fine. Now let's go to our next case over here. We're on page 174. Now we're talking about dangerous animals. Dangerous animals. Can we kill them on Shabbat? So, any dangerous animal you can kill on Shabbat. Rav Yosef says a question. 1 second, we learned Chamish Nahargim Shabbat. You can kill 5 types. Ve'eluhen, the Zvuv Shebe'eretz Mitzrayim.
I think that's the West Nile.
Okay, West Nile, let's say.
Yeah.
Zvuv Shebe'eretz Mitzrayim. The Tzira Shebe'ninveh, some sort of hornet in Ninveh. The Akrav Shebe'chadiav, a scorpion in Chadiab, and a Nachash Shebe'eretz Yisrael, a snake in Eretz Yisrael. The Keleb Shaita B'chol Makom, and a crazy dog or mad dog in any place. All these you can kill. So 1 second, you have one brighter that says you can kill any dangerous animal, and you have one brighter that says these 5. So is one brighter mistaken, the other brighter correct? Which brighter is which? So Rabbi Yosef says no. I learned it, I taught it, and I answered it, and this is the answer over here. He says when they are running after him, and therefore it's submitted to kill them according to all opinions. Okay, the way let's take a look at Rashi for a second on the next page. The case of the 5 creatures that should be killed applies when they are not running. Okay, so Rashi says the way I understand what Rav Yosef's answer is as follows: the 5 that the Braita says you can kill, that's even if they're not running after you. Those are very, very lethal, very, very dangerous. You can kill them anytime, even when they're not running after you. The other one that says you can kill any dangerous animals, that's any dangerous animal, but that's if they're running after you. Okay? Now, Rav Sheshet then adds, and he says, a nachash, a snake, right? You can do it lefi tuma.
Even though he's not going after you,
right?
You can
it's not dangerous, not going after you. You can kill it lefi tuma. What does that mean, lefi tuma?
You know, he just
he tramples on it.
Yeah.
Doesn't make it look like he's killing it. He's not saying, everybody look, I'm killing the snake. He just walks over it and he kills it.
And I thought the same thing.
And that would be okay. Okay? So the Rambam says, no, not the Rambam, let's say it's Rashi. So Rashi says, why is it? Why is it that you're allowed to kill these 5 anytime? Now, if they're chasing after you, I can understand why you're allowed to kill them. Kuach nefesh, right? When an animal's chasing after you.
Because they are unpredictable.
But they're not chasing after you right now.
Doesn't matter. They are not right now, but in another 5 minutes,
So
they are going to chase after you.
You're saying the Rambam shot. Let's look at Rashi for a second. The Rashi says, why are you allowed to kill them? It's because of Rabbi Shimon. What did Rabbi Shimon teach? Rabbi Shimon said, if you're doing malacha that's not for its own sake, on a biblical level, it's permitted. It's not asur d'oraita. It's asur d'rabanan, but in a case of tzar like this, it would be okay. What's the malacha she'ein tzurcha l'gufa? Why did they capture animals for the Mishkan? Why did they kill the animals? To use it. To use its hide for the curtains, for the stuff in the Mishkan. If I'm killing a lethal animal, what am I killing him for? No. To protect. So therefore, it's a malacha she'ein tzurcha l'gufa. I'm not needing this animal. It's not what the malacha is done for. So therefore, it's Rabbi Shimon. That's why I'm allowed to kill these animals even if they're not chasing me. It's malacha she'ein tzurcha l'gufa. Now the Rambam holds, not like Rabbi Shimon. The Rambam holds a Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda says, is asur. Deoraita. You're not allowed to do it. But the Rambam also says you're allowed to kill these 5 animals anytime, even when they're not chasing after you. Why? Chayam, vadai. Regarding beasts or insects whose bites are certainly deadly, kegon zavuv shebitzayim, right? Bitzir shebeninve, v'akar shebechadiyav, v'nach shet yisrael, v'kel shet b'chomokom, murtin lahargen b'Shabbos. You're allowed to kill them on Shabbos, kishiro. When you see them, not when they're chasing after you. B'shar kol mazikin, and the rest of them, im hayuratzin acharav, if they're running after you, mutter lahargen, then you're allowed to kill them. If they're staying in their place, or if they're running away from you, then you're not allowed to kill them. Okay? Now, if you meet them and you walk in them, then that is mutter. So the Rambam also holds you're allowed to kill those 5 animals even if they're sitting there. But he doesn't hold malacha she'ein tzurcha l'gufay. So why would he allow it? So we come to the Maggid Mishnah. In the Maggid Mishnah, on page 176 in source 8, he says, the Rambam holds like this, the Rashba holds like this, but they don't hold like Malach Shein Tzurcha. They hold like Rabbi Yehuda, that's forbidden. So why would they allow this? He writes in the bold part, Shepekuach nefesh hu behiroten bilvad. That the Rambam must hold, like Rabbi Chaim was saying before, that it's pekuach nefesh once you already see them. These are very, very unpredictable, very, very, very lethal animals. Therefore, the moment you see them, kill them. Don't say they're not chasing me. Don't say they're being quiet now. Kill them immediately. It's part of the pekuach nefesh. All right? The same way, if they're chasing you, it's pekuach nefesh. These 5, when they're sitting there, they're also pekuach nefesh. Okay? That's the halacha brought down in the Shulchan Aruch. Says the Shulchan Aruch in source 9, any insect or beast that if it bites you, it's going to be a certain death. Even if they're not running after you, kill them. But other types of damaging animals, a snake or a scorpion where they don't kill. If they're running after you, even though they're not killing you, but they're very damaging, they're very hurting, they're very painful. It's big infliction, big afflictions, right? Then if they're running after you, mutal hargam, then lav, and if they're not, aser. But if you're just walking and you see them and you want to step on their head, you can do that. Even if you're doing it intentionally. But he should make sure he's doing it in a way that people don't think he's doing it intentionally. So you can't say, everybody stop, look, I'm going to step on the snake's head. That you can't do. You can walk, see the snake's head, and on purpose step on it, but not drawing attention and saying, I'm doing it this way.
Question.
Yes.
When you're down in Shmona Israel, snake is wrapping around you, you have to be quiet. Why? It's a little contradiction here.
There you have to be quiet.
Yeah, you shouldn't really. You should continue down.
Yeah.
No, isn't that?
Yeah, it's brought down like that.
No.
Right.
How does that work here?
You're davening. Hey, this guy's taking a walk. It's different. Okay, when you're davening, nothing can hurt you. Very good. Fine. The Mishnah Murah.
It's a very good question, but there's no answer.
No, I gave you the answer. He's davening.
Hold on. But Shabbat is holy of all. Why you should jump on me? Protected by Shabbat.
Why are you not being protected by Shabbat? So then you better step on it. Okay. Okay, Ladata Rambam says the Mishnah Burah.
Tell me, do you really think a person, when he's davening and a snake comes, go around him, he's going just to stay and not doing anything?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, he's going to do something. It's only for big tzaddikim, like for them, nothing going to happen.
Is that true? Halacha. I think halacha for everybody.
It says, the halacha says, Lo hanachash memit, hachet memit.
Very
So
good.
if a person is a big tzaddik, so Hashem protect him. So if the nachash is there, it's okay. This gefela.
Very good.
Somebody is He's gonna run away.
Like
Like it?
Okay. Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
Okay.
that's it.
Mishnah Berurah. Mishnah Berurah says what we've been talking about up until now. Mishnah Berurah says, Ladat Rambam, according to the Rambam, the Mechayv Melach Shein Tzarech Gufo, Tzarech Lo Medach Kamar, Shein Meitin Vadai, Elohu Safek Duach Nefesh. It's Safek Duach Nefesh. These animals can Safek Duach Nefesh, and that's enough to kill that animal. And the other Rishonim, and the others who take it to Melach Shein Tzarech Gufo, they would hold that's Melach Shein Tzarech Gufo, therefore you're allowed to kill them, even though it's not Pekuach Nefesh at all.
Right.
Okay, now says the Mishnah Berurah, very important. V'dafka elu. This applies to creatures like this, which are naturally harmful, and their bite stings. Albeit they in general do not kill in this area, right? So, if they're running after you, we said you can kill them, even though they're not going to kill you, as long as they're going to cause damage and pain. You're allowed to kill them. This does not apply to a flea and other similar small insects. So your normal mosquito, not West Nile,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
But your regular mosquito,
This is gefährlich. You
Or
don't.
your
You
flea.
don't kill.
or
You don't
something
kill.
like this,
You
You don't know
don't.
West Nile, it's bacteria. You don't know if it's infected or not.
you know that there's certain places
No,
that
no,
have
but there's
mosquitoes that are
from
infected.
Israel.
We're talking about a regular mosquito that no one said it's infected. In the areas that are not a problem. Like usually, if there's a place that has it, they say,
Yeah,
"Be
yeah.
careful. These mosquitoes here are dangerous."
That's what they say.
Okay.
Right.
So,
Zika.
A Zika, right, the Zika virus. Oh, I forgot that one. Okay. So what's it called? In these irregular mosquitoes, your regular mosquito,
not allowed to kill.
even if they're biting you, you cannot kill them. You cannot kill them because they're not causing that much pain to allow you to kill. I just want to read outside of the Tzurba for a moment from the Yalkut Yosef. He writes over here, it's definitely permissible to kill on Shabbat any dangerous animal that might attack and bite someone, even if it's not threatening anyone at that moment. It's permissible to kill animals even if their bites are not lethal, as in the case with most spiders and many scorpions if they are chasing someone to bite them. So if a spider or a scorpion is running after somebody, you're allowed to kill them because they're painful. If they're not threatening anyone, the spider or the scorpion, and they're not lethal, then you're not allowed to kill them. But if you're walking by them, and you don't show that you're purposely trying to kill them, and you can step on them and kill them that way. Okay. Okay. The Rashba says as follows: when we're doing with these animals that are not harmful, I mean, they're not lethal. They're not going to kill somebody. They're harmful. The snake, the scorpion, the spider that we just talked about. They're not going to kill somebody. They can cause pain. And that they're chasing you, you're allowed to kill them. Let's say they're not chasing you, or they are chasing you. Do you dafka have to kill them? What about trapping them? The malacha of you're not allowed to trap.
It's better to trap.
Says the Rashba, if it's possible to trap them, one must trap them and not kill them. Killing them is worse on Shabbat than trapping. Even though trapping is also a malacha, but by trapping, the real malacha is only on the animals that you would usually trap to get something from. Whereas shaykhet is the doraita even on an animal that's any animal,
Right.
not only the ones that you usually capture.
But the snake, what are you going to do with the snake? You trap him.
So therefore, better to trap.
Yeah.
Although trapping is a malacha, it's not evidently so. Also, it says the Rashba, people are not going to think you're trapping it to trap it, right?
Skin for the shoe.
We talked about that last week. Yeah, the venom, the skin.
Which
Sometimes
one?
you
The
can use.
snake?
Yeah.
You could. But you say,
When was the last time you saw a person killing a snake to make a shoe? Yeah,
Very expensive
it's
shoe.
says the
2025.
Rashba, but if you can trap them, you can definitely step on them and kill them. Okay, so you could kill them if you're walking by there, right? But if you just can trap them instead, he says that would be better. The Lavush explains slightly different. He says, says the Lavush, he says, you know what? People might make a mistake. People see you, killing an animal. They'll think, oh, here, the guy's killing. Doesn't make a difference. It's dangerous, not dangerous, this and that. They don't realize that Shabbat and you were just walking by it. They'll think killing isn't okay. Therefore, he says it's better to trap it versus killing it. But la halacha, you're allowed to trap it if it's a dangerous animal and you see it by you. and you're definitely allowed to step on it if it's there, and if it's running after you, you can kill it. Okay, now, and the Orchot Shabbat kind of sums this all up in source 13 on page 178. In source 13 on page 178 says the Orchot Shabbat, Balei Chaim, animals whose bites are dangerous, or a mad dog, okay, you are allowed to kill them, even if they're only approaching a person in order to cause them non-lethal damage. So you know they're not going to actually kill you, but they're coming close, you're allowed to kill them. You're allowed to kill a wasp or a bee that are found close to people who are known to be allergic. Okay, some people have an anaphylactic reaction to what's it called as a bee sting. Not only that person is allowed to kill that bug, anyone who's there. So if you know someone has an allergy to a bee sting, you can kill it, no problem. It's pikuach nefesh. Don't wait around. Don't say that guy has to do it. No, anyone can do it. Regarding animals whose bite is harmful but not dangerous, such as a non-poisonous snake, so you got to look at the situation. If they're chasing the person in order to harm him, right? If the non-poisonous snake, the non-poisonous spider is running after you, you're allowed to kill him. He's running after you. Doesn't kill him. If they're not chasing a person, there's no leniency to kill them in the usual manner. You're only allowed to trap them or trample them innocently in a manner that appears that he's not killing them, right? So if you see the spider and he's not running after you, but you see him and you want him out, you can walk by it and just step on him and kill him. Yes, you're allowed to trap the beast.
Unless there's somebody allergic. If nobody's allergic.
If
Kids are going crazy.
right,
Yeah.
right.
No,
Kids are
he's
going.
saying he's allergic. If it's allergic, you are allowed to kill.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But if
there's
it's not allergic, it's better sometimes to trap. But he says, okay, don't kill. He said no killing if it's not allergic.
You would be. We saw already last week as well. You would be allowed to capture the bee. The question is if it's a honeybee. If it's a honeybee, then there's a big issue of tzad because it's going to be a deraisa issue because you would cultivate. Yeah, but Rami was saying that it's not the honeybee, it's the yellow jacket wasp. So therefore, it only be the Rabbanan in a case of pain and harm and people are worried and people can't sit and it's chaotic. It's mutter to trap that bee in your sukkah.
honeybee is therapeutic.
Oh yeah, they want them to bite you, but they're not around. Okay, so you would be permitted to trap that in your sukkah. Better to shush them away.
I don't know how to tell the difference between honeybee and.
So Rami said they're all yellow jackets. He told us it's all yellow jackets. There's no honeybees here.
How
He knows. I don't know. He knows. He said it. That's it. So you can be relying on that. You can claim that.
many things.
No, they're different. They're much different.
He said it's yellow jackets. So he definitely allowed to. And even if it's not yellow jackets, there are poskim that say that the honeybees are not really captured and whatever. We talked about it last week. Okay. But definitely if you can shoo them away by shushing them away, that's better than trapping. But if they're going to keep coming back, I think everybody has their sukkah stories with the flies and trapping in. And I got like 5 in 1 cup, and then I had like 5 different cups of with the flies in them and stuff like that. So everybody has a good sukkah bee trapping. In such a manner, the decision not permit killing a wasp or a bee, and certainly not other insects, even if they are chasing a person, unless this involves any concern of danger. So the concern of danger, you can do what you need to do. But if it's no concern of danger, then you can't do it. I think we missed one spot I wanted to talk about. He was talking about turning on a right on page 172. If you go back, on page 172 in source 3, the second paragraph over there, it's permitted to activate an electric device that kills insects or different flying creatures before Shabbat.
Yeah, well.
Okay, so I can put on.
It's cheetah.
I can put on my bug lamp.
Well,
the zapper.
What's the chiddush of it?
Just to tell you. But one may certainly not activate this device on Shabbat. So some people for Sukkot they buy the D-light, the bug lamp or whatever you call it, the zapper, and they put it outside the Sukkah or inside the Sukkah, wherever you put it, and then the bees go into. That is permissible. That is not a problem. All right.
What about the dead bodies that the problem, no garbage, you have to.
So then maybe don't put it in the
What?
sukkah, put it outside the
What?
sukkah. If you put the bug zapper inside the sukkah.
That's nothing.
But you really don't see it. It goes to like the bottom.
That's nothing.
You see it? Okay.
That's
It's a good question. It's a good question. All right.
A body of.
Let's come to our
of a
last
fly,
section.
It's nothing.
Let's come to our
Nothing,
last
no,
section
nothing.
for tonight.
Quick question, Rabbi Shimon.
Yes, got it.
What if it's an animal that's harm to one's own animals? Let's say one has chickens and there's a raccoon that keeps attacking the chickens and eating them and killing them. Is it okay to kill them with a bat or something? Squeeze it away? Or...
You're saying they come and they mess with the other animals? They kill them, or
There's
what do
another
they do?
animal. They come, of course, they kill them, like the chickens. Somebody has chickens and the raccoon comes and attacks the chickens.
So what's the answer, guys?
Yeah,
Is it a danger also to humans, or just a danger to the animals?
To the animals. I don't think they could do anything to humans.
Danger to the
You
animals.
know what?
To one's own animals.
Behemet, I'll tell you, I don't know. I don't know. It's a very good question. But that Hashem, I'll follow up with you, and I'll follow up with the guys. That Hashem, tomorrow I'll try to get an answer from you. Okay, for you. But that's a good question. So your question is, there is a dangerous animal to my animals.
Listen, the raccoon.
What can I kill? So the question is, can I kill him, or can I trap him, or can I do something?
Right. Both of them. Either trap or kill.
Trap the dog already. You can trap.
Okay, that's a good question. I will follow up Bezat Hashem on that. Very good. Very good. Fine. Anything here?
You don't want to be with the raccoon by yourself at night time.
Here's an interesting halacha brought down the Yalkut Yosef.
You don't know what he's going to do.
Let's say the guy is a Kabbalist.
Kabbalist?
Yeah.
Oh.
And he knows Shemot. He can say certain names and he can kill the animals. Can he say Shemot to kill an animal on Shabbat?
Well, what's the difference by with a knife or with the shemot or with the noten
So, let's read.
Noten leshama.
Done. Someone who kills an animal on Shabbat with Shem, with the name. Yesh omrim shepatur. Some say he's butter. The law of Torah, ela dumyad demlachat mishkan, only if it's like the melacha of the mishkan. And for akimat sefatav, will have yamase. He's not really doing anything. He's not doing any masa. He's just moving his lips. Okay, so he brings it that there's opinion that it's patur.
But he interfering into the normal nature.
Yeah, but
He says patur.
Yeah, but
Then he writes interestingly as a follow-up, Val kol panim mutter lilmod b'sefer hayitzira b'Shabbat. You're allowed to learn sefer yitzira b'Shabbat. And this is the sefer with all the shemot and stuff like this, the creations and making stuff. So you're allowed to learn it on Shabbat. I don't know why you put that in, but how you put it in? Anyways, that's I just want to bring out interesting. So if you know how to kill stuff with shemot, they are saying patur.
I don't understand. The totza'ah of killing with a knife or killing with a shem is the same totza'ah. You kill.
No, in this case.
What it says? It says you don't kill. Huh?
It makes him disappear.
No, it doesn't make him disappear. No, make him disappear.
No, he's killing him. B'Shem.
Talking about the killing.
Kill him.
The body is here. You say something and boom,
It's gone.
So the angel is allowed to kill on Shabbat?
Yesh omrim de patur. That's it. That's what he says. Okay. So
we are going by Yesh Omrim.
All right. Anyone knows how to do it? And then we'll figure out the
Nobody knows.
Okay.
Not
Okay,
today. Not today. The last 2,000 years, nobody knows.
Baba says,
I don't think he knew how to.
Okay. Page 180. Rabotai. Let's not get lost. Page 180. Lice. Lice is an insect. What is it, Gabriel? It's an insect. So we already saw the Rambam said you're not allowed to kill anything, even an insect. But for some reason, when it comes to lice, the Talmud says, according to one opinion at least,
You can pick up.
you can kill them. You can kill them. Let's read. The Tanya of the Ezoimer, Hahari Kina b'Shabbos. The other say if you kill the Kina, right? Kina, Hahari Gamal b'Shabbos. It's like you killed a camel. Ad Kanle Pligi Rabbanon. Alei de Eliezer Elabekino. But the rabbis argue when it comes to the lice, and they say you're allowed to kill. The end, it doesn't reproduce like other insects and other animals.
They thought, but now they know.
Right, we have to deal with that in a minute. Right. Of a sharish mosim, the Priyan Ravin, like pligi. Other insects that do reproduce normally, then you're not allowed to kill them. But the lice, according to the science of the time, let's say for this moment, it might be they knew the science, but anyway, it looks like that. Well, whatever, we'll get there. Let's go posh it. And the science of the time, they understood that lice is spontaneous generation. It just comes by itself from rot and other dirt and other things like that. So the rabbis say, since they're not reproducing, they're not similar to the goats and the rams that were shech for the Mishkan. Because goats and rams, they reproduce. Right? Both of them learn from the Elim, from the rams. One second. Rams, you could take away the neshama. Avkan, so too by the lice, you can kill them and take away the neshama. For Rabbanan Savrim, no. Rabbanan say, Ke'elim. The rams, ma'elim, the parim ravin, they reproduce. There's parents and there's an offspring. Avkol, the piramidba. Everything that reproduces, that's what you're not allowed to kill. If it doesn't reproduce, you can kill it. Says the Gemara. In Masechet Shabbat, earlier on, Rabba would kill lice. Rav Sheshet will kill lice on Shabbat. Rabba would throw them in a cup of water. Rav Nachman would say to his daughters, kill them, and let me hear the sounds of the combs killing them. Rav Shimon Elazar said, one may not kill a louse on Shabbat. That's Bet Shammai. But Bet Hillel allows you to kill lice on Shabbat. Shulchan Aruch writes, Kina mutalariga. You're allowed to kill a kina on Shabbat. So now,
you know what? There is all kind of kinim. There is animal kinim, like they're really big. They're really big, and they're also kinim, lice.
Kinim, lice, louse.
And besides,
How you say lice in Russian?
And besides this,
No, который в волосах живет.
besides this, I have a question.
Yeah.
My question is from this Shabbat, not this Shabbat, maybe last Shabbat. Only on the kinim they say Etzba Elokimi.
Right, they're small.
They so big, so wonder like this is something. It's they say Etzba Elokim. No, they don't say about the lions. It's Etzba Elokim. Not about the Nachash Etzba Elokim. Only about the kinim. So if the kinim is Etzba Elokim, it means it's
spontaneous generation. It's not reproductive. Yeah. Okay.
No,
okay. So it comes to Pachad Yitzchak.
Like Rabbi Eliezer.
It comes to Pachad Yitzchak. Rabbi Yitzchak Lampronti. Okay. He's in Italy and great rabbi. And he also is learning the works of science. And he says, I don't know what to do here, He says the biologists of today have found that every creature, including lice, comes from reproduction. It's not spontaneous generation. It doesn't just pop up from rot. They come, they plant their eggs there, right? And then the eggs hatch and comes out. It's not. They do Priya Virivad. They are reproducing. Not like the Gemara said. The whole heter of the Gemara, of the Gemara was because they don't reproduce. But science has now proven that they do reproduce, says the Pachei Yisrael. And by the way, he's in the 1600s. The late 1600s, mid 1700s. Okay, so this is mid 1700s.
They had magnifying glasses.
Yeah, they were looking and they found and they saw. So he says the Talmud is wrong.
Why?
What are we going to do?
How does that come?
So he says he went and he asked his Rebbe, Rav Yehuda Brill. And he asked Yehuda Brill from the town of Mantova. And he said, so what would be if they reproduce, you're not allowed to kill them? You're not allowed to kill the lice. So he went to Yehuda Brill. He said, listen, this is the science. What's the halacha?
If they decreed it, that's it.
So he said,
don't
one should not change the halachot that are based on tradition of our rabbis because of analysis of non-Jewish scholars. So just because scientists are sitting there and looking at it doesn't mean we change the halakha.
But he answered him.
So he says, but I told him, first of all, not everything in the Gemara is based on tradition.
Yeah.
Some stuff the Chum said, hey, look, this makes sense, this doesn't make sense. It's not that this is a misorah from the previous generation.
Right.
So I don't know if this is a misorah that it's allowed or it's based on their analysis. So he was sort of advocating that you should not be able to kill lice today on Shabbat because they do reproduce. The Dor Revi'i, Rav Shmuel Glasner, he writes, you cannot diverge from the leniency of Chazal. You cannot say that the authors of the Talmud erred, that they made a mistake. We have to go with what they said. Even though today it's proven without a doubt that these lice are reproducing, still mutar. Okay, that's the tradition from the Chazal. And the Yalkut Yosef agrees with this. He says you'll be allowed to kill the lice on Shabbat. Now, can it be, someone would go and say, can it be that the rabbis of the Talmud made a mistake? They didn't know they actually do reproduce, and they say they didn't reproduce. So the Michtav Miliar, Dessler wants to say, listen, you have to remember we're dealing with halacha. And halacha deals with what you can see. Lice reproducing cannot be seen. Therefore, halachically, they're not reproducing. Understand? So the Chachamim knew they reproduce. But on a halachic level, we deal with what can be seen. And since you cannot see, because they're so small, and the eggs and everything, no one sees, that's why they always told us for 10th generation. Therefore, since it's not seeable, it's halachically not significant.
So if I don't see bugs in my vegetables, I don't see my life.
So very good. Very good. The truth is, you're right. But they're saying, all right, so Rabbi Yosef will tell you, they're saying it could be seen with your eyes.
But my eyes is very
No.
glasses.
So Rabbi Yosef, can you see it with your eyes straight, or you have to use a loop? So some people say that if you're well trained, and you have good eyes, and you know what you're looking for, you're going to find them. Okay? But if you're not well trained, then you say, I don't see them. So then deals with, is it there or is it not there? Is my seeing, or your seeing, or the professional seeing? Right? But when it comes to life, it cannot be seen. You really have to have a microscope to see it. Therefore, says Rabbi Dessler, halachically, it's not reproducing. Rav Avigdor Nebenzal over here, he writes that if Shlomo Zalman Auerbach said that you're allowed to kill a lice today. You're still allowed to kill louse. You're still allowed to kill them, even though we see reproducing. But, says the Rav Avigdor Nebenzal, he says, I'm a little scared to do it. He says, you know why? He says, perhaps the lice that the Gemara was talking about is not the lice that we're referring to today. All right? So they really had lice that did spontaneous generation. But what we call lice today is not the lice that they called in the Talmud. And therefore, shouldn't be mutter. Right. All right. He said there was different lice. We don't have that lice. We have different lice. And therefore, maybe it's not the same louse. And therefore, you should not be able to kill them. Which is a very nice, pshat. So Rabbi Yoshev had a similar ruling to Rabbi Nebenzal and said that today one should not kill lice. One should not kill lice, says Rabbi Yoshev. Should not kill it. But he holds if there's any distress to the child, anybody who has the lice and he has distress, he has pain from it, so then you would be allowed to, kill it. You have the Gemara that says you're allowed to. So then you'll be able to. So halacha l'maaseh, the Yalkut Yosef writes, although modern day zoologists insist that lice reproduce sexually like most other animals, we still cling to the holy words of our sages who permitted the killing of lice on Shabbat. So he allows it. He says it's permissible.
They're referring to Moshe Rabbeinu's life from ashes.
So the Ashkenazi poskim goes with the Orchot Shabbat. They would say you can kill it only when there's a tzarech gadol. There's some sort of tzarech. To pay kids in pain or whatever it is like that. It's not just to kill them. No, that says it's permissible. Now there's another issue. How do you sometimes clean the hair and kill the lice? You have to use a brush, right?
No, it's not brush. It's a really thin comb.
A thin comb. It's a comb.
Yeah.
So you have a problem of you bore. You have a problem not only of separating, you also have the problem of plucking out your hairs.
Plowing.
No, plucking the hairs, right? Taking out the hairs. It's because he's taking out the hairs. The Alter Yosef says it's permissible. Plucking hairs from a person head in the act is an act of Torah that not forbid. It's a derabbanan secretion by nichala. There are reasons to be makel, says from Avadia, when it comes to that case with the lice.
Baboon, he can explain it for you.
All right. What about trapping lice? So we said.
Exactly. How can you trap lice? You can kill them with the chemicals, but how?
You can't trap them?
Can trap lice?
I don't know. I'm saying. The Ramban writes.
There's no such a lice.
The Ramban writes.
Lice, the holding to the blood.
The Ramban says that just as there is no malacha of shaychet when it comes to lice, there's also no malacha of tzad, of trapping, when it comes to lice. As there is no malacha of shaychet when it comes to lice, there is a malacha of tzad either, of trapping.
Well,
therefore, you're allowed to trap lice.
Tzad is a lot more permissible, no?
Yeah, also true, but he says, hey, Potter v'lechatchila nami muter ben letzoid ben leharog. Says the Ramban. The Chidushim meyachusim leran. He explains a little differently. And he says, on the biblical level, the malacha of tzeda of trapping only applies to creatures that are commonly trapped. However, Chazal usually prohibit trapping even those creatures that are commonly trapped due to the concern that one who traps that creature may kill it. This concern only exists regarding creatures that reproduce. So, similar to trap creatures that are not commonly trapped and also do not reproduce. That although one who traps a flea is exempt from bringing a sin, trapping is prohibited in case one kills it. This is why they have an issue of trapping any creature that's permitted to kill, and its species not commonly trapped is permitted. Same idea, basically saying that the whole idea of trapping is eventually to kill it and then use the animal for the pieces, right? The hide, the this, the that. So if you're not doing that, then it would be okay to trap it as well. Now you're saying it's not practical to trap. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe it is some way. Once in my life, I saw lice, body lice, not hair lice. And I only saw it on a video. It was very hard to see.
Body lice?
Body lice.
Wow,
there's such a thing called body lice.
Maybe the guy, he was in
he was a homeless guy. The homeless guy. No, not bed bugs. Not bed bugs. Bed bugs are very hard to see. They jump away, this, that.
How big is that?
This guy came into the hospital, a homeless guy came into the hospital, and he had body lice on him. You would move him in the bed, and you would see the lice, like tons of pieces, jumping towards him as he moves. Everywhere he goes, lice is going with him. So one of the rapid response people at the hospital I was working at that time, they actually videoed it.
He's isolated?
We had to isolate him.
He was isolated.
But they took a video of it.
Why did they put a spray on him?
Eventually, they did stuff. It took a while. But every step you moved him, the body lice followed him, and it's like tons of you. And the video, all you see is like black specks everywhere. Like it's like a fuzz, and they're moving on this way, that way. So that kind of showed me what Keenan Mitzrayim was, right? That's what it was. It wasn't just hair lice; it was body lice. It was everywhere. Okay.
Maybe that's the one that's reproduce.
Okay, Abotai, this is where the share ends for today. Next week we'll start with moving animals on Shabbat, which is an issue of muksa. And from there, we'll move on to muksa in general, based on that. Kaddish. Rabbi Hanina Makasho Omer Tzak Kadosh Baruch Hu Zakor Yisrael. Tika Chibalim Torah Mitzvot Shneimar. Adonai Hafetz Leman Tzitko Yagid Torah V'Yadir. Yisrael.
No. יהושע, הקפצת אותו. ראית?